Do you hop from program to program because you get bored doing the same thing for too long? Yet in the same breath you're feeling tired or disillusioned because your strength gains don't seem to be going anywhere? Well, in this video I hope to provide you with the answers. Today we're going to talk about mastery. But to really understand why mastery is so important, we need to get a little bit geeky. Are you ready? Our muscles are made up of many muscle fibres. These fibres are type 1 and type 2, A and X. Think of type 1 muscle fibres as the fibres that keep you stood up for long periods of time without going all floppy. Think of type 2 muscle fibres as the muscle fibres that make you do the more powerful actions like throw a ball with force, push an extremely heavy weight, carry those heavy bags of shopping, or burst out into a sprint. Now, these muscle fibres are grouped up into many different bundles, and these bundles are then controlled by motor units, and these motor units are controlled by the central nervous system. Well, that was annoying. Anyway, these motor units have to continue to frequently fire until the muscle contraction is complete. It's just not one and done. Now please bear with me when I give you this very simple representation of the beginning journey to mastery. Remember the first time that you picked up a dumbbell and it's pretty heavy and you weren't too sure how much effort it was going to take? It could have went one of two ways. The first way, it could have been a really slow grinding lift and finally it got there. And then you load it back down again. Or it could have been the second way, which is it popped up, nearly cracked yourself in the chin and you're like, I'm not doing that again. Now, I'm pretty sure the second time you made that bicep curl, it didn't go the same way. This is because the central nervous system has already started to regulate how many motor neurons it needs to fire and how frequently it needs to fire them to lift this weight up. And it's very specific to that weight as well. Now, from a strength and efficiency standpoint, it doesn't make sense to use up all your muscle fibres on one lift, especially if the lift doesn't even require that many. It makes sense to save a few for another lift, because then if you make another lift, over time you will make more lifts throughout each set, and those reps develop more strength. So that's my first point to mastery. My second point for mastery is frequency, firing rate frequency. How fast can we make this muscle contract? And that is so important because the more time that you're lifting this weight, the more fatigued the muscle's getting. So if you can lift it quicker, it's less fatigued. And guess what? If you're less fatigued, you can lift the weight again. And my third and final point for mastery is that intermuscular coordination. I've only spoken about a bicep curl, like a single joint movement. We need to be thinking compound lifts, back squats, deadlifts, clean and jerks. These things that need all the muscles of the body to work together. And this takes a huge amount of synchronization, and it doesn't just happen in the first experience of that lift. It takes many repetitions to get better and better. And the more that you can repeat these lifts in the same way, set your feet up in the same positions, take the same breaths, brace in the same way, the central nervous system has to worry about less things and it can focus more on the efficiency. So my takeaway from all of this is stop chopping and changing programs to programs because you've seen a new fitness expert on Instagram trying to sell you his program to get huge in 20 weeks. And you look at him and you're like, wow, you look amazing. But what he's not telling you is he's actually taken him 15 years of doing the same thing, the same program over and over again. And for all you know, he may be on a whole bunch of steroids that he's not even going to tell you about because he's trying to say he was get massive in 20-week program, which he knows is a lie because it's taken him so long. Stick with a program, master it so that your body and your central nervous system knows exactly what to do.